Whenever we talk about the climate crisis, it feels like all eyes are on the future, right? We're always looking for the next big invention, the next policy breakthrough. But what if one of our absolute best tools isn't out there in the future at all? What if it's hiding right here in our past? Today, we're going to dig into this really human and honestly super hopeful idea for climate action. It's all about connecting generations by tapping into the memories we all share. Okay, let's get into it.
This quote from the Co-Memo-S project handbook, it just hits the nail on the head. It really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. The idea that the path forward isn't just about inventing something new from scratch, but about recovering something really precious. It's about remembering the wisdom we already have as communities.
And that right there is the big critical question. In this super fast-paced modern world we live in, that knowledge is fragile. As our elders pass on, as our lifestyles completely change, we are seriously at risk of losing this vital connection to the past. And if we lose that, we lose a powerful tool for building a sustainable future.
So this brings us to a challenge that isn't really about carbon emissions or melting ice caps, not directly anyway. It's about people. The climate crisis, it turns out, is also a human crisis, and it's rooted in this growing disconnect between our oldest and our youngest generations. I mean, just look at the collective strengths we have right here, ready to go. On one side, you've got young people bringing this incredible energy, digital savvy, and just a profound sense of urgency. And on the other side, our elders are holding this treasure trove of lived experience, what the source calls ecological memory, and a kind of resilience that's been forged over decades. But here's the problem, the big disconnect. These amazing strengths are often operating in their own separate worlds. It's like having two halves of a key, but never putting them together to open the lock.
So how do we connect those two halves? Well, the Co-Memo-S project has this really powerful concept that acts as that bridge. It's a way to unlock a whole library of forgotten wisdom.
It's called socio-ecological memory. Now, I know that might sound a little academic, but it's a beautifully simple idea. It's the living, breathing knowledge a community holds about how to live with the earth, not just on it. This isn't stuff you're going to find in a textbook. It's passed down in stories told at dusk, in community rituals, and in the muscle memory of hands-on traditions. It's like the planet's own memory held by its people.
And this memory is so tangible. It's not just some abstract feeling. The source gives these amazing concrete examples. It's knowing the perfect time to plant and when to let the soil rest. It's being able to read the patterns in the wind or the river. It's this deep, ingrained understanding of reciprocity, what you can take and what you absolutely must give back. And woven through all of it are these core values, things like cooperation and care. This is so much more than just data. This is real wisdom.
Okay, so we found this incredible living library of wisdom. But if it's at risk of being forgotten, how do we actually access it? That's the critical next step, right? Moving from just a memory to shared real-world action. The answer, according to the Co-Memo-S project, is this practice they call communing. And it's an active word, a verb. It means intentionally creating these shared spaces where this memory isn't just archived like some dusty old book. No, it's lived again. It's about moving from mine and yours to ours and creating that common ground for action.
And this isn't just a theory. The Co-Memo-S project is applying this in the real world, where the stakes are incredibly high. The partner countries, you see them here, Spain, Cyprus, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, they are all on the front lines facing severe and immediate climate impacts. This work isn't some academic exercise. It's a direct, necessary response to a crisis that's happening right now.
So let's look at how this connection actually comes to life. The source material is just full of these inspiring hands-on examples that really show this theory in practice.
For example, in Romania, they've revived the traditional sewing circle, which is called a șezătoare. So you have elders and youth gathering together. And as they stitch and weave, they share stories. The memories of the community are literally woven right into the fabric they're creating. It's just this powerful fusion of craft, community, and cultural preservation.
Or think about Cyprus, where young people and elders are out in the olive groves together. They're planting new trees and harvesting side by side. The elders aren't just teaching a technique, they're passing on a deep physical connection to the land and the sustainable rhythms that have nourished their communities for centuries.
And some of these activities are really deeply symbolic. At a historic watermill, the physical act of washing clothes becomes this whole ritual. It connects the practical work of cleaning fabric with the symbolic act of cleansing collective memories, of sharing stories of hardship and resilience right there by the flowing water. So what happens when you build these bridges, when you bring generations together with such a clear purpose? Well, the outcomes, as the source details them, are profound. They're transformative for absolutely everyone involved.
Yeah, the impact of these connections is just huge. First, you get stronger communities, trust starts to grow, people feel valued. Second, you get this shared wisdom, where that deep ecological knowledge from elders meets the digital tools of the youth, and that leads to better, more resilient decisions. And finally, and this might be the most important part, there's healing for everyone. The source points out how loneliness softens and fear actually turns into courage when people work together for a common purpose.
And this brings us to a really powerful realization. This quote reminds us that this socio-ecological memory, it's not a static thing. It's alive. It's flowing. The actions we take and the connections we build today, well, they become the memories that future generations will inherit and learn from. We are all memory makers.
Ultimately, this wisdom exists everywhere. It's not just in the pages of a handbook. So we'll end by turning the question back to all of us. What knowledge, what stories, what socio-ecological memories are held right there in your own community? And most importantly, how can you become a bridge to help share them?